Hi Tim, welcome to Cloud Pandit in this Azure Data Factory Master Program video series. So in this Azure Data Factory REST API series, in this particular session, we will be doing a hands-on on running the pipeline of one ADF from the another ADF with the parameters. In our previous session, we just have seen how to call the pipeline which is there in the another data factory from our current data factory. But we have not passed any parameters while calling the pipeline which is there in the another data factory. But in this particular session, what we will be doing is we will be just passing the parameters as well, just not calling the pipeline which is there in the another data factory. We will also see how to pass the parameters to that particular pipeline using the web activity with exactly 13 steps we will be following to do this particular thing. Let's see what are those. Okay, first prerequisites for this particular hands-on lab is we needed two data factories. One is Cloud Pandit Dev project1 ADF, Cloud Pandit Dev project2 ADF. Then we will be creating some of the things within the Azure Data Factory. I'll be using two activities. One is web activity in the project1 ADF, wait activity in the project2 ADF. And I'll be using two pipelines. One is for the PL_web in the project1 ADF, PL_wait in the project2 ADF. Let's say now project1 ADF is making a request to the project2 ADF to run particular pipeline. But project2 ADF will not be able to recognize the project1 ADF. So that's why what we need to do to recognize project2 ADF like project2 ADF to recognize the project1 ADF, what we need to do is we need to add this particular project1 ADF in the project2 ADF as a data factory contributor. With this permission, the data factory 1 can able to make a request in the data factory 2 ADF to run particular pipelines. Okay, so if you see the steps, first I'll create one ADF. Second step is I'll create a project2 ADF. The third step is I'll open the project2 ADF, and in that the fourth step I'll create the pipeline with the parameters. Fifth step is I'll just add the wait activity in this particular pipeline and I'll publish this particular PL. PL means pipeline. I'll publish. The sixth step is you come back to the project1 ADF and you add the pipeline. Seventh step. Eighth step is you add the web activity. Once you have added the web activity, now you need to recognize, you need to track the project2 pipeline which you want to call, right? So for that you need to track it with the help of first subscription, then resource group, then data factory. Within the data factory we will have the pipeline. So to call this particular pipeline we will have different API versions. So we need to get this particular API version. Once we form this particular URL, we will be using that URL in the web activity. Along with that, I will be passing the parameters. Here I created a pipeline parameter, right? That pipeline parameter is a TS, time seconds. Okay, time in the seconds. TS I will be passing as a 30 seconds. So these 30 seconds I will be using within the wait activity to wait for 30 seconds. If I pass 50 means 50 seconds it will wait. Okay, so the values I will be passing dynamically to the wait activity. Now I'll start running the pipeline, but it is a failed attempt because it will fail. Why it will fail? Because project2 ADF cannot recognize the project1 ADF. So that's why we need to fix this by adding the project1 ADF in the project2 ADF by giving the data factory contributor access. Then we need to use this management.azure.com is the header. We need to add it in the web activity. So once we have completed the required permission stuff, then we can do a reattempt of the pipeline call. Then successfully we can able to make the call to project2 ADF pipeline by passing the parameter from project1 ADF web activity. Okay, let's try to do this lab. Let's not waste any more time. Let's start doing this particular lab. Okay, come here, portal.azure.com. Okay, let's create the data factory one. So go to data factory, click on this, click create data factory. So select here, you don't have any resource group. Let's create a resource group called Cloud Pandit -dev-rg. Click OK. So name of the data factory Cloud Pandit -dev-project1 ADF. Okay, check it. The name is existed. Click review plus create. total 13 steps we need to follow. The step 1 is just we are validating step 1 is completed. Let's create a step 2 portal.azure.com, open new tab. Create the another data factory. Click on this, create data factory. So you can just choose the existing resource group. This is the cloud pandit dev project2 ADF. Okay, then click review to create. Then click create. Okay, this is a project 1 data factory. This is a project 2 data factory. We have 2 data factories ready. So now let's see the steps that we need to follow. What are the steps that we need to follow? In these steps, if you see, we created a data factory 1 and data factory 2. The third step is we need to open project 2 data factory. We need to create a pipeline with the parameters, and we need to add a wait activity, and then we need to publish that pipeline. Let's finish these 3 steps in the pipeline 2. Okay, let's see pipeline 2 is ready. See project 2 ADF. How to open this? The step 3 is open project 2 ADF. Now go to manage. Click on, don't go to manage, just come here, create a pipeline. The fourth step is create a pipeline. Just call this pipeline as a pl_wait. Okay. Now you need to add the wait activity is the next step. Okay, wait activity. So this wait activity should be dynamic. That's why you need to create a parameters. How to create parameters? Here you can click on this pl param for, okay, pipeline param for time in seconds. This is the parameter I created. Now come here. Okay, so one more thing. So when you create a pipeline parameter, this is of type integer. This is of type integer, but you can put anything. I want to get a value as integer, so I am just using it as an integer. Come here, come to settings. Now instead of passing hard-coded value, this should be dynamic through this particular pipeline. So you can see steps. I opened data factory, I created a pipeline, I added wait activity, I created a pipeline parameter, and I am using that pipeline parameter here, then publisher. Okay, that will be published. So 5 steps are completed. Next step is we need to open the project 1 ADF. Okay, then we need to create a pipeline here also. Then we need to add the web activity. Let's finish till here. Okay, let's see here. This is published. Let's see publishing is completed. Project 2 ADF. Let's come to the project 1 ADF. Open this. Launch Studio. So once the ADF1 project 1 ADF is open, again go to the author tab, create a pipeline. So this pipeline you can call it as a PL web. Okay. So this particular pipeline will have the web activity. I'll drag the web activity. Okay. So total how many steps we completed now? If you look at the number of steps, we completed 8 steps. The 9th step is we basically have to take this particular URL. So to take this particular URL, I have copied this into the notepad. Let's move on to the notepad. Okay, we are here. Now in this URL, we will have total 4 parts. Okay, this is Azure management URL. Then like for this, we need to add the, so this is the actual URL that we need to form. For that is I divided into part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. If you see part 1, this is the management URL. And then to track the data factory, we need to provide the subscription, within the subscription which resource group, within the resource group which data factory. So that is the part 2. So within that particular data factory, which pipeline, that is the part 3. Okay, part 4 is which API version we are going to use, that is the part 4. But first option, part 1 and part 4 will not change. Let me show you why it will not change. So as we are calling the pipeline, basically we are calling the pipeline from the project 2 ADF from the project 1 ADF. So that's why we need to take the details of the project 2 ADF in order to call this particular pipeline from project 1 ADF. Okay, so for that you go to the portal. Okay, here if you see, this is the project2 ADF. Now if you see your overview tab of the project2 ADF, click on JSON view. Here you can see this is the resource ID. This is what you need to take it for the part 2. Okay, already resource subscription ID, resource group, data factory name, everything will be available. So pipeline name, as you already aware, the pipeline name is what is the name of the pipeline we have given. If you want to know, you come here in this pipeline, you can see PL underscore wait. Let's give that name here, PL underscore wait. Under that, which version of API? If you see version of API, again go back here. See, version is 2018-6.1. This is the latest one. Old one is there, but we don't want to use old one. Let's use the latest one. Okay. These 4 URLs we need to combine. Okay. First, this one I'll be putting here. Then this is the one I'll be taking. Okay. Then you need to take this. You put it here. And at the end you need to use this particular 4 parts if you combine. So when you are combining, double slashes will come, take care of it. Okay, now keep this URL in the project1 ADF in the web activity. Okay, so web activity expects the post method. Remember, the method that we need to use here is post method. And whenever you are using post method, we need to pass the body. Instead of passing the body, like we don't have any body at this moment, at least I'm just using the empty. Okay, now just debug. So when you debug, what is happening, which steps you are so this particular timeout seconds equal to 30, that body we can able to set it now itself, but without setting also we can able to call. Okay, so it will take null for that particular parameter. So failed attempt, this is we are doing. So see, the pipeline is failed. We will see why it is failed. Okay, so you can see authorization is failed. So how we can get that authorization is very simple. What you need to do is we need to add the data factory one. So you can see the next step is we need to add the project1 ADF in the project2 ADF with the data factory contributor access, and we need to add the authorization address. For that, so take this particular data factory name from here to here. You go to the second data factory. Okay, here click on access control IAM. The navigation only taking little time, just bear. So click on add role assignment. Here data factory. So if you search here, automatically see your data factory contributor came. Click next, select members. So which data factory? Data factory 1 should be recognized in the data factory 2 ADF. So the UI is little slow. You just put your project1 ADF, select this, click select, click review plus session, click review plus session. So this will be done. Once this is done, you go back to the project1 ADF from where you are calling, come down. Here you need to select the authorization. The type of authorization which we are using is system SN managed identity. Okay. The resource name that you need to put is part 1, whatever is there, management.azure.com. That particular step you can able to put it here. So now we completed total permissions wise. Okay. So before you run the final step, right? So success one, you need to pass the body. Body should be a body should have your parameter name. What is your parameter name? This is your parameter name. Take the parameter in the pipeline 2, put that parameter here. Okay, add dynamic content. So this is the parameter, only one parameter I have, and this is of type integer, so I can say just a number. If it is a string, means you need to put it in the double quotes. As it is just integer, I'm just putting some 30 seconds. Okay, now let's debug this. Let's see whether it is succeeded or not. It is running. It is succeeded, successfully completed here. Let's see, go to the monitor tab. Okay, refresh it. So if you come right side, you can see the parameter value which I have passed. 30 I have passed. So that 30 means This particular wait activity will be waiting for the 30 seconds. It will be waiting for the 30 seconds. See, now already the duration of this wait activity is 29 seconds, means it should be succeeded. See, PL underscore wait is succeeded. PL underscore wait is succeeded. Now you can see. So this pipeline is succeeded. Inside this pipeline, if you want to see, you can able to see that. Okay, this is succeeded. Let's say, so this is additional to the today's session. I am explaining to you the additional steps because some people will have doubt. Okay, let's say param and let's say load date. Okay, something you want to pass as a load date is a string. Okay, so what you can do, you can come here. Okay, oh sorry, first you need to publish this here. Okay, publish it here. Once you add the parameter, let's wait until it is published. I'll just spend one extra minute than what we have planned just to show you one more additional parameter, because you may have doubt how to pass the string, how we can able to receive it, right? So you can see I'll be passing the string as well. So it is almost completed. Just wait a few seconds. So it is publishing. It is taking quite long time. Just one parameter. It is taking too much time to publish. Now we can able to see, right, the message which says publishing is completed. Now come here, so we can just pass that particular parameter as well. What is that parameter? Take that particular parameter. Okay, let's say I want to pass that as well. Okay, then I can just put it like this, and let's say I want to pass some value 2023 08/11. Okay, so you can also use some kind of a custom like functions to generate the date dynamically. You can pass the date dynamically as well. Okay, click debug now. So let's see, once it is succeeded here, we can go there. So it is succeeded. Now come here. Now go to the monitor tab here. You should be able to see the pipeline is running second time. Okay, you can see the required parameters. So both parameters 2023 08/11 today data I have passed, and this is 30 seconds same. That's how you can pass as many parameters as you want from one pipeline to the another pipelines which are there in a different data factories. Let's see the summary questions, then we can close the session. See, success attempt, we have seen that as a 13th step. Which Azure Data Factory component enables you to pass parameters to a REST API URL? Data flows, linked service, web activity, pipeline parameters. As you know, web activity is basically helping to pass the parameters. What is the purpose of using pipeline parameters when calling a pipeline in Azure Data Factory? To configure linked service, to set data transformation rules, to pass dynamic values between activities, to define data mapping between source and sinks. As you know, to pass dynamic values between the activities, to pass dynamic values to the activities, we are passing the parameter values, different parameter values. When using a web activity to call a pipeline in another data factory, what type of HTTP request is typically used? Post. The answer B is correct. What is the correct format of specifying the URL? As we have discussed in the earlier session also. Answer A is correct. Data factory / data factory name, pipeline / pipeline name. In Azure Data Factory, which of the following component must be set up to secure connection to the another data factory pipeline using a web activity? Is Azure Active Directory authentication. Answer B is correct. Which of the following scenarios is typically use case for calling a pipeline in another data factory using a web activity? Is basically to trigger a remote pipeline for the data integration. Okay, that's all, team. So please put your comments in the comment section, which basically encourage me to do the similar kind of hard work to prepare a step-by-step steps, and I can explain the complex scenarios also in the simple way, step by step like this. Okay, I can also define the number of steps. Okay, I hope it is very helpful for all of you. Thanks for watching this particular video. Finally, I request all of you to subscribe my YouTube channel and support me. Thank you.